The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
That opening, I have to tell you. Welcome to Table Topics, and we're back for one more show with me, my co-host, John Sylvia. We are partners again on this new show, and I believe this is our third show this season. Right. I don't know how many seasons we're gonna last, but so far 3 shows is counting this one. And we have a very busy show today. It's 30 minutes that we're going to spend with you. So please sit back, relax. They may need a glass of water once in a while, right?
Yeah, I know. And we don't take anything serious. It's just
exactly.
just throwing stuff out there.
And one of the reasons that I like to do this show with John is because not all the time, but sometimes we are in opposite sides, and it's always good to have a conversation when we disagreed with something, but we still respect each other. But it's funny because here he comes, two independent voters.
Yeah.
2 independent voters, which we don't agree with each other.
Yeah, I know, because independents, either side. I usually, and you're probably the same way. I vote for whoever I think is going to do a good job.
Maybe we need the next election. We need an independent.
That'd be good.
Runner.
Yep, the working man, right?
Exactly. What they do? The blue collar, the red collar.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, what would they? Don't say purple.
No.
Whatever you say, don't say purple or purple bags.
Purple bags will be on the agenda for the show today, but we will get there. We will get there. John, we were talking about something that you just, I guess, just hit the news, but not in all the news, not in all the media.
Yeah, and maybe this will be at least an outlet to talk about other things that are not on mainstream media. And like I had said in the past, when I was doing the show, we were doing the show in South Africa about, certain parties or groups are, going to put their news out. There's that old saying, right? It's your not your fault, but it's your truth, my truth, and then it's the real truth in the middle. Mm-hmm. So, we were discussing that beforehand, that, I might believe this way or that way, but there is, obviously if you're in any kind of argument, a dispute, you're always going to make it look like you're the victim, and vice versa. So, but I just want to point out sometimes when we have these things that are just so hypocritical, I think, and I'm going to try to get some liberal democratic things, but this one happens to be something that happened in Miami, Florida. And it was at I'm not going to get into it, but it was a restaurant. You can look it up online. The Daily Wire, who heads that is Ben Shapiro. And it was on Fox News, but I didn't find it on CNN and, the illiberal media. So, so this starts with the Make America Great Again hat. So what happened was a young man, 22 years old, went into a restaurant in Miami. And while he was dining there during Mother's Day with his girlfriend's family, he had on a Make America Great hat. This allegedly drew attention of a female staff member who gathered her coworkers to confront him. A witness told the site, the news organization. The witnesses further claimed about a dozen of those employees circled his table, pointing fingers. So then all the employees started standing there saying things out loud like, "I'm going to knock his head in so hard that his hat's going to come off." Other witnesses for this publication, the Daily Wire, said some employees used the N-word in reference to Joseph when speaking among themselves, while another brandished his fist. Joseph, who was the individual himself, told the Daily Wire that one of the employees stood behind him balling his fist and smacking his fist, trying to scare him. At one point, Mr. Joseph claims he and his girlfriend got up to use the restroom upon exiting the restaurant, and they were greeted by employees who were clapping and yelling and screaming things at him. The kitchen staff also allegedly booed him as he walked out. Eventually, Mr. Joseph and his girlfriend left the restaurant, only to run into police waiting outside. And at that point, they told the police what happened. He never called. Mr. Joseph never called. People in the restaurant called because they were a little concerned. And I'm not sure why they didn't get involved, but I know now people are afraid to get involved, but somebody called the police. He did not want to press any kind of charges. But this happened on Mother's Day, which was 2 days ago. Recently what I read was the Cheesecake Factory came out with a statement that, number one, they're investigating it. Now, this is 2 days ago. Number one, they're investigating it. And then they came out later on and said one of the employees was suspended. Now, the witness accounts, along with Mr. Joseph's account, say there were probably 20 people in that restaurant doing this. And all Cheesecake Factory came up with was, I'm going to suspend one employee so far. So this to me is just the total hypocrisy of some of these things. This is not put on the restaurant, and this is not put on CNN or all these other news organizations. Even the local paper, the Miami Herald, didn't have this in there. So why is that? It's just, to me, it's bias as well, because we have, just recently, we have so many incidences where people start videotaping people and saying you're harassing me, and they're not even really harassing. I wish somebody would have got a picture of this. That would, a camera of this, but they didn't.
But more, what I've been watching lately is more and more of these cases are coming to viewers.
Yeah.
And again, Facebook, it's great to have Facebook, but like anything else, if you don't know how to use it, that can hurt you instead of helping you. And that's exactly what I'm being. But this is, it's all over. It's citizens against citizens. Is TV stations against TV stations.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, like I said, I used to watch CNN. For months now, I don't even put CNN on.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I put Fox on. But when Fox when their news is talking about CNN, you're not going to tell me anything that I want to hear. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's when I change channels, because I want to hear news. I don't want to hear what this host of another channel did or said against you or your colleagues. Because guess what? You are on opposite sides. Sure, they're going to say something, and sure, you're going to say back.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah. I want to hear news.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear if the president paid a prostitute. It's not my business.
Yeah.
It's not my business. And to tell you the truth, he was not even in office.
Yeah,
I don't care about.
Yeah.
I want to know is what this president's going to do for me.
Even if I just look at that and throw this apart, I'm not saying I know what happened, but if someone's a billionaire, does it make sense that they're going to pay a porn star? Couldn't they hire anybody else? But they're going to hire a porn star. It just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Personally, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm not saying that he didn't did it.
Yeah.
I do believe that he did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I believe that he did it. Like, I believe that he tried to quiet her down and paid for it.
Okay.
So I do believe that happened. But guess what? That's his life.
Matter. It doesn't matter.
That's his life. I have nothing to do with that. And I don't even have to hear, or be sitting with my daughters and hear on the news, guess what? The president paid, $130,000 to a prostitute. What we have to do with that? It's nothing to do with me. He was not sitting in the White House. He did not did it on the White House, that's our house.
Yeah.
Okay. So other than that, how many people around us that pays prostitutes?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his life. I have nothing to do with that. So for people and for TV shows to be using that for 1 hour after an hour, after an hour, after an hour, just trying to help him, he doesn't need help.
Yeah. Well, that actually, if it shows, it really has helped him because his approval rating's gone up. Because I think people just take a lot of things they see in the media now with a grain of salt.
One thing that I have to say is we're not dealing with a regular president.
Yeah, you're not dealing with a politician.
And that's why he got elected.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. He got elected because he was different.
Yeah.
He was a different candidate. He lived a different life, and people want to give him a chance. I have nothing against that. I didn't support it. I didn't vote for him. But guess what now? He's the president.
Yeah.
Now, as a president, what he makes and the decisions that he does, that's what I want to hear about. Whatever he did when he was 20 or 30, 40, 50, I don't care.
But
I really don't care. And I don't think that should become, it's just like in Fall River.
Yeah.
We have good candidates that sometimes run and they don't get elected because guess what? Because they got a charge, because they got in a car accident and it was their fault. What that has to do?
That's how things go, unfortunately. You know, that's just how it is.
It's amazing.
But I mean, yeah, I have a totally different opinion about why he was elected. There was a big, strong group of Americans in this country that were being held back from this whole glazation thing.
And I understand they want to try something different.
Yeah, they want you to try, but not only that, they looked at it, they thought they were left behind. You know why? Because look what was happening on the border. People are just walking in, and people that have lived here their whole lives as citizens, they've been here for a few generations, and they say, you're not eligible for this, this, and this, and by the way, we took your job away because that moved to China.
I understand all that, but it's a few things that the Republicans that I don't agree with them. Number one is when they say that this president got elected with the majority of the vote. That's a lie. Yeah. We all know that. Yeah. He didn't get the majority of the vote. He got the delegates.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't get the majority of the vote.
But that's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. When you turn Fox TV and they are saying, I don't know what these people are surprised he's doing what he said he was going to do, and on top of it, he got elected with the majority of the votes. No, that's a lie.
Well,
that's not the. That's a lie.
But we have that whole system because states like Rhode Island,
I understand
Vermont,
the state.
Because look at California. California right now.
He got elected with the majority of the electorate. That's the truth. So instead of saying the majority of the votes, let's change for the majority of the elected.
I kind of disagree on part of that because California right now, their voting system there, right? California, if you don't have to be legal in the country to get a driver's license. What do you show to be a voter? In this state, what do you show? You show your driver's license?
And you have a lot of people that have driver's licenses and they're not registered to vote.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm getting at. But anyway.
Another thing too is another thing that I need to correct, and I hate. I'm total agreed with you when they say they're not supposed to be here. They're here illegal. Okay, but when you put another title on them, because right now. Yep. Since this president got elected, you name it a murder.
A what?
A murder, like somebody that kills somebody.
Oh, okay, yep, okay.
They are automatically thinking about illegals, and that's a title that he gave it to them. Yeah. Well, and that's not right because not all are bad people.
I agree, Carlos. But you know what's funny is if you go back to the 70s or the 80s. When Jimmy Carter was in, it was either Jimmy Carter or Reagan, Cuba was emptying out their asylums, their mental asylums, and sending them here, and we knew it. When people said that back then, you know what I mean? They didn't say, like, oh my God, it's not everybody. They're not getting everybody out of the asylums. Yes, they were. And they were getting rid of their undesirables. So let's put it this way, right? You know that march up the caravan from Central America? I guess an official from Guatemala was marching with them. Come on, we got to let you in. It's all economics, right? Because 20% of their GDP in Guatemala comes from money from the U.S. coming back to them. So there's all these different things that are tied into it. Nobody says everybody from certain countries are that way. People turned it around. I've watched the clip where the president said it was this, and then they stopped it and they started again with the thing.
So he did say it through his campaign.
No, that clip was from CNN. I'm going to have to find you that clip where he says they're not sending us off their finest. Some of them are this, this, and this. That's what he has said. But they always clip that off all the time.
They're sending us the bad,
and
the criminals, and there was one more category.
Do you think in the U.S., right? If we had a country like Canada we could go to, do you think anybody would be stopping me if I was a criminal from going there? They're probably going to be giving me the boot to get the heck out of here. That's just common sense.
Another thing this week that just came out this week was that the embassy.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
I think there's nothing wrong with it. We should have did it a long time ago. We can't tell countries where their capital is, you know. And this is what we've done. Israel said their capital's in Jerusalem. We've pretty much had their capital, and we put our embassies in Tel Aviv. We don't have the power to do that. What if somebody came into this country and said, I'm not putting an embassy in Washington, D.C. anymore because of whatever that happened. It's now in Boston. That's where I'm going to put my embassies. We can't do that. Do
they have to be on the capitals?
Yeah, well, usually embassies are at the capitals of countries, but every country basically has been in Tel Aviv because this whole Palestinian, Israeli fight. So I don't know. Even that on the media. Look what's happening. People are going to the gates, to the border of Israel. They're throwing things over. They're doing this, that, and the other thing. And all you see on the news is 70 people were murdered, right? Well, then Israel's not crossing the border and just doing that. People are trying to come in. They're throwing rocks. They're throwing this. They're throwing tea. They're trying to get them away from that. And I was reading an article where the terrorist group is paying people to go stand out in front there and march and throw things and whatever. So what is the big deal? Why is that country so upset that Jerusalem's there? Israel has said, you know what? You want a capital there? You want a second state? East Jerusalem will be yours, but they don't want that. You know what I mean? Every time there have been talks to give property back or land back, there's some kind of problem. And really, the poor Israelis, in 1967, they had everybody surrounding them attack them. Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, all those countries attacked them. And they basically got the land from them, and they gave the land back to those countries later on. I don't know what more they want from this country. But my opinion.
I was going to ask you your opinion about another thing that happened this week too, but I will remember. But I know you have something else that you want to share too.
Yeah, you know what? We're really moving along, so maybe we should switch to the city thing because I didn't realize it was this.
Yeah, I know. The time goes so fast. But just save it for.
Yeah, I can save it for another time.
For the next show.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to Fall River.
Local.
And we've been partners for a long time. Let's go back to 2014. We were the first two that sit in front of the city council when they were having conversations about purple bags. And we were the first two that went there in support of the purple bags. Now let's forward to 2018. A lot of trash got cleaned. A lot of streets got with trash. A lot have been said, but the problem's still not resolved. Even today, all this time, people still complaining that was no, that we need more education. What more education we need? We had the show that we bought the barrels here. We throw the trash on the barrels where the barrels go. I translate for the trash company flyers in Portuguese. We did it in Spanish. We did everything we could.
Yeah.
We did show after show about what goes in here and what goes there. The bottom line is, it's a few small group that don't want to do purple bag. Could be yellow bag or blue bag. Doesn't matter the color of the bag.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah. And you know what, Carlos, who I blame? I blame all the mayors, and I blame every city councilor that was on during that time, with the exception of maybe one person that said he didn't think it was going to happen. And he's not in anymore. But they all were playing back and forth with this, back and forth. And you'd never force it to be enforced or never push back on that, because there were things they could have did. Number one, a multifamily house or a single family house. I go to your house 4 times and you don't abide by this and you throw white bags in there, you have to get a private hauler, because we are not picking up your trash anymore. But they didn't do that. You know, then it became a political issue when Cesar was running again. I'm going to get rid of the purple bags, even though in the beginning he was for the purple bags. So, you know,
all this years passed.
Yeah.
What's your opinion still?
Well, to be honest with you,
I'm pretty sure we're going to go in front of the city council.
It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is they're making this political. Okay, they're saying this new budget that's come out, we're not going to have the purple bags anymore, but we're going to raise your taxes 2.5%. And I've been looking, you know, online. I'll see people say, well, taxes go up every year. Well, the funny part is taxes are not really going up 2.5%. They're going up more. My taxes went up 7% last year because in evaluation, your house is higher now. So, and not only that, you look at our taxes, we're paying $14.62. CPA is another 30 cents. Okay, so now we're at 15. If you raise our taxes 2.5, we're going to be somewhere at like 15.5. Then when Durfee comes in, we're going to be at 16. Somerset's $17 a thousand. We're 16. All the surrounding towns are lower. And I compare us with Somerset because they have all the services. They have water, sewer, trash. So it gets to be where younger people are going to say, you know, $1 more, 1,000, and just go there.
Well, let me
and
tell
Tiverton too. Tiverton's going to be about what we are.
Let me tell you this. When I went there and support the purple bag, was never with the intent to be an extra money maker.
Yeah. Yep.
My intent was finally people is gonna recycle. That was my purpose of, you know, being and supporting the purple bags. Because at that time, I was already collecting and doing 2 blue boxes of recycling. When I was going around and see those blue boxes, those blue bins, the small blue bins, being on the gardens with trees inside, you know, people are moving, you know, things around. So that's what the part that, and I was recycling for 8 years.
Yeah. But you know what?
So that's why I said, good, because now people's gonna, if they don't want to pay for more bags, they're gonna start recycling.
Yep.
The problem is they were never went after the people that were not doing it.
And they still don't.
And they still don't. So that just, and the more and the longer they never went through after them, the more they got convinced that it's illegal to do what they're doing. That's why they're not taking me to court. But they never got the ticket and got challenged. So that's the part that I got upset. Because for all these years, people who had been paying for all this time, okay, and now the problem is going to be even bigger than what they think. Because now, if they go back to the city, if we're paying $5 million now for trash pickup, we're gonna get another 10,000 next year because everybody's going to cancel their contracts with the private companies, and everybody's going to put their trash outside. And now it's going to be all mixed because guess what? If they didn't recycle before, they still don't going to recycle now.
Yeah, now they're never going to do it. You're right.
And the pickup trash is going to increase like crazy now for everybody, including those that were paying for the purple bags.
Well, and that's the funny part about it. If people, they don't really look at the whole situation, great, all right, you're not going to pay for the purple bags. I only pay $60 or $70 a year, but you know what? Say you pay $300 a year, $400 a year. With the taxes going up, the landlords are going to raise the rent. They're going to have to. I mean, water is going up, and I mean, things go up. But when someone's taxes, like mine went up 7%, it was over $400. That's a pretty big, decent hike. So if you have a mortgage on a house, you got to pay your insurance, your water, and then you got to put money aside to fix it. There's not much in the budget there, so they're going to have to raise it.
And what happened, John? What happened is, if the company was supposed to be up here making this much money, and they're not making, so now they go to keep up the money, okay, how much they're making, they got cheaper bags.
Yeah.
Now what happens was the companies the stores that we're supposed to go buy the bags, they are owned 3 months to the city for bags. They're not paying the bill. And so the city's not putting bags there. So now you stop in 3 different stores to get a purple bag. You know, so
I agree.
Everything got worse and worse and worse and worse because it was not done right at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. And nobody had the guts to come out and fix it.
Exactly, exactly. So now, yeah, it's going to cost us more money because even if he's going to, and again, it's a promise. You know, people should not make promises with my money when I pay out of my pocket and just making the campaign promises. You know, make it out of your money. You know, pay whatever you want to take out to eat with your money. Don't pay with my money. Okay? So that became a campaign, which on the end, he's going to be, you know, I did it what I said I was going to do, but it's going to cost me 3 times more now. So where we are.
And that's what I mean. That's not really saving anybody anything. And it's just you're throwing that out there. People are looking at, yes, I don't have to buy these bags anymore, but when your rent goes up, you know what I mean, $30 or $40, and it's not going to go down. I mean, if you talk to a lot of people, you know when we had the barrel fee, a lot of landlords raised the rent on people for like $10 or $20. If you go ask people now, they never lowered the rent because it's taken away from the landlord. They didn't lower it. So it's,
It's the same thing that's going to happen. It's the same thing that's going to happen with the tax go up for the dirt fee. That's what we campaign about. You know, that increase will never come down. Dirt fee is going to be paid, but we're going to keep because they will move that money
they're not
to something else.
I mean, you know, we needed a school. I get it. But we're never going to pay that back early. There's no way. There's no way. Unless we become the pot capital of the USA, right? Like if we become the pot capital and all these places are open every corner, that's the only way I can see it. But
so, I mean, my point was, and when I went in support the purple bags, is for people to recycle. That was my purpose. And for that purpose, I still believe that the purple bag will do the job if everybody does it the right way. Okay? And on the meantime, we're raising some money.
But you know what, Carlos, and this hasn't really come out, I find this interesting. Remember when it first came out with the bags? They used to project $3.5 million. Now they say it's $1 million or $1.5 million. So where did that extra $1.5 million go? Where did that come up with?
I cannot wait to print this year's budget.
It's not out there though, I don't think.
I don't think so, but I can wait to print it because at last year was $2.5 million.
Projected, right?
Projected.
And it was pretty close.
Okay, so this year they made it the 2 point. You know, I think it's going to go at least $1 million under. But I cannot wait. And I need to go through, I have every budget. You know, I started, I think, with Flanagan, and I have every year's budget.
So you're going to have to bring that back so we can see what the projection was.
You know, so I can go back and look how much really the city made with and how much we lost.
Sounds good.
And with that said, wow, we went from Washington to
I know, huh?
to Fall River. Very good, my friends. I think we're done for one more show, Table Topics, and we will come back next week with more Table Topics.
Have a good day.
Thank you, John.
Yep, thanks.